Alright, Celtic faithful, buckle up because the summer at Parkhead is shaping up to be anything but quiet. While most fans are still riding the high of yet another title triumph, behind the scenes the winds of change are starting to blow. Brendan, Rodgers is sharpening his plans, getting ready to reshuffle the deck once again, and the buzz is already in the air. Some familiar faces might be waving goodbye, while others, like Marco Tilio, are standing at a crossroads, uncertain if they'll still be part of the green and white come the next campaign. Let's talk about Tilio, the young Australian winger who barely had time to settle in Glasgow before being shipped back out on loan, is once again under the spotlight. After a frustrating injury-plagued spell in Scotland, he returned to his homeland to join Melbourne City, and boy did he make the most of it. The 23-year-old ended his stint down under with a bang, helping his side clinch the A-League Grand Final in a fierce derby clash against Melbourne Victory. 94 minutes of solid football flashes of brilliance and the kind of hunger that Celtic fans have been desperate to see since he arrived for that record fee from the A-League just last year. In total, Tilio clocked up 5 goals and 5 assists in 19 matches during his time back home. It's not just the numbers that stand out, but the confidence and sharpness in his play. After a spell where many wrote him off, he's suddenly back in the conversation, not only for Celtic, but also for the Australian national team. He's been recalled by Tony Popovich, and with the 2026 World Cup looming, Tilio knows this is a defining stretch in his career. He said it himself. His future is up in the air, but he feels good, focused, and ready to give everything to keep himself in the Socceroos' plans. His comments reflect a player reborn. It's always been about just playing well, he said in a recent interview. I know when I'm playing well, people are watching. And he's not wrong. Whether it's Celtic scouts, Rodgers himself, or other clubs keeping tabs, there's no doubt his performances haven't gone unnoticed. He spoke with clarity about the gap since his last appearance for Australia. 18 months, and the desire burning inside him to make his mark again. He's not just looking to warm the bench, he wants to be on the pitch, making an impact, pushing for a starting spot on the world stage. But let's rewind a bit. When Marco first touched down in Glasgow, he spoke with genuine excitement. He dreamed of following in the footsteps of Aussie legends who left their mark at Celtic Park. Names like Tom Rogic, Aaron Mooy, and even going back to Mark Viduka. The opportunity, as he put it, was too big to pass up. Being around those names in national team camps helped push him toward the move. The stage was set for a new chapter, one full of promise. Yet things didn't quite go according to script. And the transition wasn't smooth. Rodgers himself admitted it's been a tough adaptation for Tilio. He joined Celtic with high hopes, but the injuries hit hard and early, robbing him of crucial preseason time. Rodgers explained back in October that the tempo and intensity of Scottish football was a big step up from what Tilio was used to in Australia. And coming into a new club, already nursing injuries made things even tougher. Training was a challenge. Building rhythm and form seemed like a mountain to climb. Rodgers said at the time that he wasn't rushing the player that time was on his side, and perhaps it still is. But 18 months later, with just 2 league appearances to his name, the question now is simple: will he get another chance? Or was this recent loan spell a farewell audition for other suitors? There's no definitive answer yet. Rodgers hasn't closed the door, and preseason could be Tilio's shot to stake his claim. But the squad is evolving and competition will be fierce. The club is eyeing reinforcements, especially in the attacking areas, and unless Tilio comes in firing on all cylinders, there's a real risk he could be sent back out or even moved on permanently. Still, the timing of his resurgence couldn't be better. Celtic need depth, they need hungry players, and Tilio's recent form ticks both boxes. His confidence is back, and that spark is something Rodgers might want to nurture. He's not the same unsure youngster who arrived a year ago. This is a more mature, battle-tested version, and if there's ever a moment to prove his worth, it's now. The coming weeks will be crucial. The club's plans for the summer window will start to unfold. Players will arrive, others will leave. And in the middle of it all stands Marco Tilio, ready, hopeful, and desperate to turn potential into purpose at Celtic Park. If there's one thing that defines a player's future at a club like Celtic, it's not just ability, it's timing, mentality, and how they respond when the spotlight turns their way. Marco Tilio finds himself on the edge of all of that right now. He's been to the bottom and clawed his way back to the surface. What remains to be seen is whether Brendan Rodgers sees a player ready to fight for a shirt or one whose path is better taken elsewhere. Let's be honest, breaking into the Celtic first team isn't for the faint-hearted. The expectations, the intensity, the fans breathing down your neck every weekend, it's a whole different universe compared to the AL League. Players either embrace it or they crumble. Tilio's first attempt didn't quite take off, and that's not uncommon. Many talents arrive with big reputations and struggle to adapt to the cold nights, the pressing game, the relentless pace of Scottish football. But the best of them learn, evolve, and come back stronger. Tilio's return to form in Australia is a clear sign of that growth. The boy who left Glasgow months ago is not the same one coming back through those gates at Lennoxtown. He's sharper, more mature, and with a chip on his shoulder. Not in a negative way, but in that fierce, determined way that says, I've got something to prove. And sometimes that's exactly the kind of edge a player needs to crack into a squad like Celtic's. The timing might just work in his favor too. With several players set to move on and Rodgers keen on freshening things up, there's a window of opportunity. He'll need to impress quickly though. Preseason isn't a time for easing in. It's a race, a test, and a statement. Every touch, every sprint, every session is watched closely. That's where decisions are made. That's where careers at a club are either launched or left behind. Celtic fans have seen this story before. Talented young players returning from loan spells trying to fight their way back into the frame. Some succeed, others fade. What makes the difference is more than just talent. It's mentality, resilience, and the ability to translate raw potential into consistent performances when it matters most. The supporters are desperate to see more homegrown success stories, or at the very least players who show genuine pride in wearing the shirt. And while Tilio isn't a product of the Celtic youth system, he does represent something valuable. An international prospect who chose Celtic over other paths because he believed in the project, in the history, and in what the club stands for. That kind of commitment counts for something. There's also the financial element. Tilio arrived for a club record fee from the AL League, and Celtic will surely be keen to see some return on that investment, whether in performances or in resale. Value. But it's not just about business. If he shows he's got the grit, the touch, the vision, then Rodgers could have a very handy weapon at his disposal. Wide players with pace and technical skill aren't easy to come by, and Tilio's best moments in Australia showed glimpses of a player who can unlock defenses, deliver a killer pass, and contribute in front of goal. What might work against him is the depth in attacking options. The squad isn't exactly short on wingers, and with new faces expected to come, the competition could become even more fierce. But football is unpredictable. Injuries happen. Players fall out of form. All it takes is one good preseason, one moment of brilliance, and the narrative shifts entirely. It's also worth remembering that the Champions League looms large. Celtic will once again find themselves on Europe's biggest stage, and squad rotation becomes essential when you're balancing domestic and continental challenges. Players who maybe don't start the season as first choice can quickly find themselves thrust into key roles if they show they're ready. And if Tilio can carry that energy, that sharpness, and that confidence from Melbourne City into Lennoxtown, who's to say he won't force his way into the plans, then there's the international stage. The Australian national team is in a transitional phase, and with the World Cup qualifiers underway, consistent club minutes are more important than ever. Tilio knows that. He spoke about wanting to do everything possible to help Australia qualify. Again, and there's no better platform to launch that mission from than a club like Celtic. The exposure, the level of competition, the pressure, it sharpens you whether you like it or not. He's already been called back into the Socceroos setup, which speaks volumes. The coaching staff there clearly still believe in him, and if he can back that up with club performances, his World Cup dream is alive and well. But none of that will matter if he doesn't find his place in Rodgers' squad. It's all connected. Club form feeds international chances and vice versa. And make no mistake, Rodgers is watching. The Celtic boss is meticulous, and he's always evaluating. He's spoken before about how difficult it was for Tilio to adapt to the tempo in Scotland, but he also left the door open. He didn't write him off. He talked about needing more time, about giving the player space to settle and find his rhythm. That time might be now. The next few weeks could define Tilio's Celtic journey. He'll return to training, face internal competition, and have to prove that he's not just another young talent, but a player ready to contribute, to wear the badge with pride and to fight for a place in the side. He'll need to show the staff that his loan spell wasn't just a temporary spark, but the beginning of a transformation. Supporters will watch closely too. Celtic Park has seen many players come and go. Some are forgotten. Some leave a legacy. Tilio's still got the chance to write his chapter. Whether that ends with cheers from the Green Brigade or a quiet exit through the back door is up to him. What's clear is that the moment is now, and how he responds will shape the next stage of his career, both in Glasgow and on the international scene. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. Whispers are growing louder in the footballing world this week, as reports emerging from Turkey suggest that none other than Jose MOURINHO, newly appointed boss of Fenerbahce, has set his sights firmly on Celtic's lightning-fast forward, Dyson MAEDA. Word has it that the Istanbul Giants are preparing a stunning $10 million offer to lure the Japanese international away from Parkhead, leaving Hoops fans on edge amid the summer transfer window chaos. While nothing has been officially confirmed by either club, insiders claim that MOURINHO, known for his love of pace and tactical flexibility, is a long-time admirer of MAEDA's relentless work rate and blistering speed down the flanks. Having only just taken the reins at Fenerbahce, the special one is said to be keen on making a statement, signing to bolster his squad as he plots an ambitious assault on both the Turkish Super League and European competitions. For Celtic supporters, the rumor has sent shockwaves through the fan base, with many taking to social media to express their dismay at the thought of losing one of their most versatile and industrious attackers. MAEDA, who has become a firm favorite under Brendan Rodgers thanks to his tireless pressing and knack for important goals, would undoubtedly leave a sizable hole in the Hoops front line. Yet, as is often the case during silly season, there remains a significant degree of uncertainty surrounding the supposed bid. Some close to the club suggest that Celtic would be unwilling to part with the player for anything less than a substantially higher fee, particularly given MAEDA's importance to the squad and the fact that he remains under contract for the foreseeable future. Still, with MOURINHO now prowling the transfer market and Fenerbahce reportedly willing to loosen the purse strings, this is one rumor that refuses to go away quietly. Whether it's mere paper talk or the first tremor of a major transfer quake remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure, the Green Brigade will be watching this story with bated breath. Could MAEDA be tempted by a new challenge on the banks of the Bosphorus? Or will Celtic stand firm and keep their man in Glasgow? Only time will tell, but for now, the speculation continues to swirl. Hello fan, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.